So, have you looked in the last 5 years at your closet and seen that your clothes have changed quite a bit, or paid attention to how many clothes you've thrown away? Fast fashion is built on this cycle of creating cheap clothing that doesn't last and goes out of style even quicker than it lasts. And you may think that you're the one paying the price to Zara or H&M, but actually it's the environment that's paying the price. Fast fashion is the mass production of extremely low-cost clothing that's designed to push frequent new purchases and very cheap clothing, and to be thrown out weeks or months later. So why should you care? How does it affect the environment? There's a bunch of different ways that it affects the environment, but I'll go through a couple. Pollution is a big one. The textile factories that are the main producers of the garments that go into fast fashion production, just purely off of emissions, are some of the biggest polluters in the world. Dyeing fabrics is actually considered to be the second largest polluter of clean water in the world. And if we're talking about synthetic fabrics like polyester, these are covered in microplastics. These plastics, throughout the course of their lifetime, when you wash them or just use them, shed these microplastics, and they end up in our water supply and then make their way to the ocean and pollute our oceans and hurt the fish and everything. The second factor that we're talking about when talking about environmental impact is waste. Every year, 90 million tons of clothing is thrown out, and it ends up in landfills in the poorest countries in the world. And like I was just talking about before, those microplastics that are on that clothing affect and pollute the water supply for some of these countries that are already struggling. The last thing is water usage. For every cotton shirt, which you may be wearing right now, 2,500 liters of water is used in the production of that shirt. That's more water than you probably drink in 2 years. And the world's already experiencing water scarcity. I don't think that we can continue to support a system that uses that much water producing clothing that may last weeks, months, maybe a year max. So, solutions. What are some solutions? Buy from sustainable brands. So examples of these brands is like Patagonia and Eileen Fisher. These are companies that are fighting against fast fashion. At the very least, are trying to offset some of the issues, but some of them are actually creating programs that are actually anti-fast fashion programs. So things that buy back used garments and try to resell them or recycle them. But the overall solution here, the kind of general takeaway, is to buy high quality clothing that lasts and to buy a lot less of it. So just to wrap it up, fast fashion seems nice in the short term. You get trendy clothes and you get them for low prices. But at the end of the day, it's the planet that's paying the price. And the consumers, we have a lot of power, and we need to fight back. Thank you.
You're welcome.